wished you could just download a new skill right into your brain? Like learning to fly a helicopter overnight or becoming a martial arts expert in seconds. It sounds like something that's straight out of a movie, right? Well, what if I told you that science fiction is officially becoming science fact?
Just imagine this. You sit down at a piano, and your fingers just know what to do. They fly across the keys like you've been playing your whole life. A skill that you picked up in just 7 days. Or how about this? You go to bed one night, and when you wake up, you're suddenly fluent in Spanish. You can hold a whole conversation without ever cracking open a textbook. Now, as wild as that sounds, it's not a hypothetical anymore. This is really happening. Thanks to some absolutely groundbreaking research coming out of the Stanford Neuroscience Institute, the ability to literally write new skills directly onto the human brain is here.
Okay, so the big question is, how on earth is this even possible? Let's get right into the technology that's at the heart of this whole revolution.
So at its core, you've got something called a neural interface. The easiest way to think of it is like a high-tech scribe for your brain. It uses these tiny little microelectrodes to send targeted pulses to the exact neural pathways for a specific skill, basically carving those memories right into your brain tissue, all without you having to consciously learn a thing.
And the process itself is, in theory, surprisingly direct. First, they implant these microelectrodes into key parts of the brain, like the hippocampus, which is your memory hub, and the motor cortex, which controls movement. Then comes the really wild part. While you're in deep sleep, which is when your brain naturally files away memories, the interface turns on and starts stimulating those neurons. And your brain? It just processes all this stimulation as if it were a real memory, locking in the new skill as if you'd spent all day practicing.
And the results they got from these Stanford trials, they're just staggering. I mean, participants were speaking conversational Portuguese after just 8 nights of sleep. Others completely mastered the complex motor skills you need for tennis, for playing the piano, even for performing surgery. And here's the kicker, all of it was done with absolutely zero conscious study. None.
But, and you knew there had to be a but, right? This incredible leap forward casts a pretty long shadow. Because a technology this revolutionary comes with a cost, and this one, well, this one could split our society in ways we've never seen before.
So what's the price for instant genius? In the Stanford trials, the price tag per person was $85,000. Now just imagine what happens when a technology like this goes commercial. That price tag becomes a wall, a barrier that could create a whole new type of class system. And this quote just nails the ethical nightmare here. We already struggle with educational inequality, but this technology threatens something far deeper, neurological inequality. A world where the rich can literally buy better brains, leaving everyone else behind in the dust. And this just lays it out perfectly. Picture a future with 2 kinds of classrooms. In one, you have the upgraded, who are downloading calculus, new languages, even surgical skills, all while they sleep. And in the other classroom, you have the naturals, who have to spend years and years of hard traditional study to get to the same place. I mean, how could they possibly compete? So the problem grows from a huge societal issue to something that's actually deeply personal. Because beyond the price tag, we have to start asking some really fundamental questions about what this does to our sense of self, to who we are. No, really think about that for a second. Isn't it the struggle, the practice, the frustration, and that final moment of triumph? Isn't that what makes a skill feel like it's yours? If you can suddenly play the piano perfectly without ever putting in the work, is that talent really a part of your identity? Or are you just running a piece of software? Where do you end, and where does the program begin? And the potential for misuse here is, frankly, terrifying. Of course, the military applications are obvious. You could create an expert soldier overnight, but it goes so much deeper. What happens when this technology is used not just for skills, but for beliefs, for conditioning loyalty in a soldier, or programming out fear? The implications are just chilling. Now, with the technology this powerful, you'd think the world would be coming together to figure out the rules, right? But what's actually happening is the exact opposite. It's chaos. Different countries are running in completely different directions, and for very different reasons. And this snapshot tells the whole story. There is zero global consensus. China, focused on social stability, just banned the research outright. Europe, tied up in its own ethical debates, is basically stuck in regulatory limbo. And the United States? It's the Wild West. It's totally unregulated because they've cleverly classified it as memory research, which lets them sidestep all the thorny questions about human enhancement. And that is the terrifying truth of it. We are sprinting full speed ahead with a technology that could change what it means to be human. And we are doing it without any agreed upon rules, without any ethical guidelines, without even a map.
So all of this leads us to the single monumental question that we all have to face now. Standing on this cliff's edge, we have to decide, should we embrace this technology that promises instant genius, even if it means creating a permanent biological divide in the human species? The answer to that question, well, it's going to define our entire future.